What's up, you guys? This is Adam Gillespie with Rancid and Sweaty Kev's coming at you with yet another video. And in this one, I'll be covering a 30-second clip from the god-awful Rings of Power TV show, which I'm currently working on the episode-by-episode reviews that I will be doing of the show. I have the script sitting next to me currently. I'm in the middle of eating lunch, actually. And I'm actually just going to talk to you guys about this 30-second clip that is just absolutely horrendous. As anyone who has a general understanding of common sense and a slight understanding of how physiology works and physics works, you will be able to tell exactly why it is that this is absolutely horrendous. Without saying any more, I'm going to say that I'm just going to play this video and I'm going to break it down for you, and we're going to go from there. Now, it's pretty hard to see because it's a terribly dimly lit scene. Let's start off with the basic logistics of this scene right off the bat. We have Galadriel, who is essentially wearing nothing but a nightgown, meaning that she has no protection, no oomph to her strikes, to her punches, to her throws. She has very little body weight because she's an elf, meaning that she's probably about 75, 60 pounds at the most, and she doesn't have any firm footing. She's completely flat-footed, rigid as a board, doesn't have any power stance in regards to what she's about to do. And on top of that, she's going against 4 or 5 Númenórean guards who have been fully trained in the armed forces, wearing full-on body armor that's probably a mixture of bronze or some sort of other fantasy element that might be coming into play for this scene. And they are wearing full suits of armor, meaning that they probably have a good 120 to 130 pounds of body weight on her, extra from her 60 to 75 pound body weight that she probably has wearing nothing but her nightgown. So she's already outweighted, meaning that she would have to put a lot of force behind her strikes. And on top of that, she's going against 4 people who outweigh her. And if each of them outweigh her by approximately 120 pounds each, then you take that into account. That's 480 pounds extra weight that she has to contend with between these 4 people who are going to put her in cuffs. And we're going to get into the fight scene really quickly. And I want you to pay attention to the way she stands, the way she moves, and the way the guards operate. As you can see, they currently have the door open, but in just a second, they're going to close the door behind them. They close the door behind her. I want you to keep that in mind because that's incredibly important. They closed the door that she just came out of behind her. Alright, let's break this down, shall we? They move to put the cuffs on her, and what does she do? Let's just backtrack by half a second or so. She lifts their arms up, and that supposedly knocks the Númenórean off his feet enough to the point where she can just toss him into another Númenórean warrior. I'll actually play this in a shorter time span if that's something I can do here. Playback speed. I'm going to slow the playback speed to 0.25 so you guys can really get a breakdown of how this works. So he moves towards her, and she picks his arms up, and that just knocks him off his feet because she's just so powerful. All that 60 pounds of force coming behind her. That's just so much force, he can't stand it. So she lifts him up, knocks him into nothing. This other guy just pretends to get knocked back, as you can see. And then she just grabs this other guy without any footing, with no base, with no strong base, and just tosses them all into a room that they just closed the door to. I guess that means that some of the guards just opened the door so they could all get knocked into the jail cell. And they cut away. They cut away and they have Halbrand, who's not Sauron. I used quotations you obviously couldn't see. But they have Halbrand or Sauron in disguise telling the main guard there, the head guard, not to draw his sword. Because apparently he would just totally get outclassed by Galadriel. And then she just tosses all 4 of them into a room. So she just basically manipulated the weight of 480 pounds like it was nothing. And on top of that, did all of it without actually moving her feet or having any momentum behind any of her strikes. What utter garbage. It's absolutely horrendous. This scene is horrendous. If you're going to do something like this, if you're actually going to engage in a combative situation with people like this, you want to first get a strong, wide base. Galadriel really doesn't have any hope here because there's 4 guys here who are far more durable based off of their armor, far stronger based off the fact that they are soldiers in the armed militia, and based off the fact that they're heavier because they have armor and human body weight over her. Not to mention they're part of the Númenórean forces because which makes them the best fighting force that Middle-earth has ever seen before. They were the guy when it came to war. Okay? And Galadriel she's just able to just easily take out 4 of them like it's nothing, like they're just papier-mâché hats, and she just sprinkled some water on them, and oh my gosh, because she moved her arms up in a slightly quick fashion, that means that she's able to completely outclass these Númenórean warriors. No, that's not how it works. She needs to get a strong base. If she was going to do something like this, she would have to first put on some weight, obviously. But if she was going to do something, attempt an escape of some kind, she could at least grab the guy's wrist, pull her body weight back, and kick the guy away from her, or try to kick his leg out from under her. That way he actually is knocked off his feet just a little bit off balance, and then she can push him to the side. And her best hope at that point would just be to dart away, because she's not going to be able to contend with 3 other guys who are in full armor, not to mention another guy who's got his sword drawn, ready to go. And another thing, if this guy was so content on actually stopping Galadriel from getting away, then why didn't he just take his sword out and slash her right across the back while she was turned dealing with the other Númenórean warriors? The writers of this show don't know how to do anything, and it's obvious because they suck so bad at everything that they can't even do something as simple as a basic fight scene or an escape scene that Galadriel could plausibly do. Never mind the fact that she's not even supposed to be in Númenor. But these showrunners don't give a crap about the lore either, so who cares? But this scene right here, this 30-second clip, is mind-numbingly stupid. It shows her dealing with 2 Númenóreans out of 4 to 5 Númenórean soldiers, meaning there's an extra 480 to, and there's an extra 480 to 600 pounds that she has to contend with. Of body weight that she has to manipulate through force and momentum. And she is about 60 to 75 pounds. So she has to contend with way more weight than she can actually handle. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the guards just opened the door that they just closed and locked behind her, and so they could get pushed into the very same jail cell that they just brought her out of. The writers are idiots. They're idiots. And this 30-second scene explains it all. I don't have anything else to say. I mean, if they don't even understand the basics of having a wide base so that you have the ability to withstand incoming attacks and dish out attacks of multiplied force based off of a 2-inch section of your fist that you're using as a combative zone, that you're using as a blunt force weapon, those 2 front knuckles, which is actually probably more of 1 inch based off of her hand size, to compound that momentum into pounds of pressure per square inch applied on that force, and the newtons that would be exerted from her getting a strong base and using her full body to actually strike somebody or manipulate them based off of momentum and angles, then great. But these showrunners don't know how to do anything like that. These showrunners think that you could literally just stand still in one place and lift somebody's arms up and they're all of a sudden completely discombobulated. That's how retarded these people are. And it only gets worse. This show has only gotten worse as it's gone along. I am currently working on the first episode review. I will get you guys that review as soon as I possibly can, but don't hold out for it for being really anytime soon, because I still have to figure out how to get an editing software. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts. Share this video out there with your friends and subscribe. Hit that bell notification icon so you'll never miss a video. And make sure to follow me over on Patreon and Rumble. I leave links to those in the description. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.